What's up, everybody? Good evening. Anyways, wanted to take a minute to just send a shout out to my people in LA with all the stuff with the fires going on and everything. I did another video earlier this week, but it came out to be like 7 videos. Actually, I think it was 8, like a 2-minute video on top of it. Because YouTube's got this thing about only letting you record so many minutes at a time. So anyways, the last time I kind of got into who I am, what I've got going on, and this type of thing. So, going to Mexico, and this is going kind of Joe Rogan, Sean Ryan, and the Ed Calderon thing. I'm still not getting how Ed Calderon is doing high-speed narco or counter-narcotics work in Mexico, and he doesn't have any accent when he speaks English. When you go to work in Mexico, you get things like this. Here's this is me studying to become a lawyer in Mexico in law school. Paycheck stubs. My letter of reference for my general when I left. This is a good one right here. This is everybody that works in Mexico gets one of these. I don't want to show it too close because it's got some data on there that I don't want. But it's going to be representante de las autoridades federales, estatales y municipales presente. And then it goes on to say that my general, the Secretary of Public Security, is conferring upon me my title, what weapons I'm carrying, and what my area of operations are. For example, el límite de su responsabilidad coincide con los límites territoriales del Estado, otros estados de la República y Distrito Federal, which basically says that I work everywhere in that state, every other state, and the federal district. And oh, last time I was mistaken. It's not 33 federal entities, it's 32. There's 31 states and 1 federal district. That was my mistake. I misspoke on that. But anyways, so getting to Joe Rogan and Sean Ryan and Ed Calderon sitting there in front of Quantico. The United States pumps a lot of money into Mexico as far as training law enforcement. So everybody from traffic cops to city cops get to come to the United States and get trained up at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, which is FLETC, as opposed to the state level stuff, because it's an international deal. So just because you have a picture standing in front of Quantico does not mean you're some high-speed counter-narcotics cop. And about that, there is an outfit in Mexico that's federal that I wanted to get into, and it's extremely selective because corruption can be rampant in Mexico. But when you go to work in Mexico, you get something that looks like this, to where you'll get, I'll see if you can see that, that's a copy of it. You'll get cards like this. This is just a copy. And then I've got the backside on it. And then here's another one. There's this, which has got this portion of it right there. I don't know if you can see that. That tells you what weapons you're carrying. That's called your carta de portación. So my question to Sean Ryan and Joe Rogan is this. How did somebody that speaks English with no accent become some super high-speed cop? And Ed started putting his videos out about a year after I went to work for my general in Mexico, which was 2012. He's got no pictures, and you know, I had to pause this. I've got pictures of me standing right next to Mexican military working. Ed's got no pictures of him doing this. He's got like a picture of him doing some training scenario in front of a helicopter with his buddies. Nothing out on patrol or whatever. So I'm confused because I did this, and I only did this for a few years. Ed's apparently some high-speed international, hey, I'm going to put me in zip ties and break out of them type dude training this stuff. And if it sounds like I'm clowning, I'm not. I try to be a humble guy because I've got a lot of shortcomings myself. I really do. I'm not all that. There's people that are better trained than me. A lot of people that are a lot better trained than me. But my question is this, is if you're so good and so high speed at doing this, why are you only down there doing it for a couple of years and then coming back? What happened with me is my general retired. My wife had to work 3 jobs and she put me through law school. Right here. This one. Right there. Let's see if we can see that. I got the microphone in the way. But it's right there. Universidad Villa de Zacatecas. Going to law school. And then I worked at a law office. And my question is really pretty simple. Is if someone's at high speed, why would they come back to the United States, move to Modesto, and start doing some, I don't know, showing people how to pick handcuffs as their high-speed training stuff and break out of plastic zip ties? It doesn't make sense. I wanted to join the military in this country. I went down to enlist 7 times, and they wouldn't take me because when I was younger, I got in some trouble, and it took me a long time to get through that. And we've got someone making some noise outside. It took me a long time to get through that, and I decided I was going to go down to Mexico and go after the people that gave me drugs when I was a kid, when I was a young kid. And when my general retired, because I was someone called gente de confianza, you're completely loyal to your general. Other people don't want to touch you with a stick. And I can prove everything that I've done. But Ed's background's curious to me. He has perfect English. He has a very short career in Mexico, working as what I'm assuming is either a traffic cop or at most state police in Baja California, which would be worthy. But why only a couple years? If you get into it, that just doesn't make any sense. And why doesn't he speak Spanish with a Mexican accent or English with a Mexican accent? That makes no sense to me. I've got about 2.5 minutes to button this up to keep it under 10 minutes. But Joe Rogan, I'm not going to disrespect you in your martial arts. You're far more successful than I've ever been. You're a very accomplished martial artist. Sean Ryan, the CIA. I was on the phone with the CIA for a half hour one time trying to join. The lady hung up on me. But the bottom line is you guys have both gone places in your careers, but I'm just really curious how Ed Calderon vetted himself to you, or how you guys being Americans, because here's a funny fact for you. When you're trying to apply to the CIA or anything, or the DEA from outside of the United States, they can't accept phone calls from you. And I know this because I was trying to join the DEA. And you know what? I don't care where this goes later. A lot of my old friends, they don't like me anymore because I went to Mexico and I was doing what I was doing. And you know what? God bless them. When we all die, we go into that casket alone, and our time here is up. And I hope that you and myself, everybody, decides to go do what they want to do, because when your time's up, that's it. And so I decided I was going to go do something that made me happy. And that's what I was doing. So, but as a result, a lot of people, they don't talk to me anymore. A lot of it's got to do with what I was doing for a living, and a lot of people probably view it as me betraying where I came from, which was a street element, skinheads and stuff like that. And, they don't dig it. But whatever, I'm not going to get upset. I have 45 seconds to shut this up. Joe and Sean, I can prove everything that I said to you, and I proved that, or I've sent you emails stating that I would prove everything I said. And I'm a gringo that went to Mexico to go hunt drug cartels. But Ed doesn't speak any English with a Mexican accent, and you guys are falling all over him. What's up? It's kind of curious to me. That's enough for right now. I'm going to keep it short. Have a good night.